Merry belated Christmas, people. So right here this is my KK10S. This is the original KK10S. I know they have come out with a brand new KK10S. I believe it's called the Pro, but don't quote me on that. This is the very first one that they came out with, and I frustratingly spent about half an hour trying to diagnose why my scooter was not powering on. So let me recount what happened here. So I had unintentionally let the scooter sit just in the garage without turning it on or charging the battery for about maybe 5 months, because I was just using that one exclusively. And so this would not turn on. Now it does turn on, but this LCD would not turn on. So I was spending so much time. I took apart all the components in here, but I had to remove the cover, the platform cover. And so when you remove the platform cover, you're gonna see this kind of cluster mess of wires and cables. So I discovered this is the master controller. This powers the rear. This one powers the rear motor. It is the main or master controller. This is the slave controller, and it powers the front wheel. And then you have these are the controllers for the lights, and then this is obviously the battery. Very easy to identify. The biggest component inside the battery compartment, or electronic compartments to say, because doesn't just consist of the battery. And so I found out that this right here. You can identify this. This is the alarm. And what was happening was this is the alarm key fob. And so I thought all I had to do was press this, and I would be able to turn on the LED. But actually, you got to turn this on as well. You got to press this lightning symbol button here. Otherwise, it's gonna lock the LCD from turning on. So I went through. I took this apart. This sends power to the slave controller. This sends power to the master controller. And I measured the voltage coming out of the battery, and it was 62 volts. So power was coming out. It was getting fed to the controllers, but the controller wasn't allowing the LCD to turn on, and that had to do with the alarm. So I guess let me get this reoriented. So the moral of the story here is, if you have one of these scooters that have an alarm, or one of these scooters that has an alarm, because this one here doesn't have an alarm restriction. So I just turn this on, and I can always turn on the LCD. However, this one has an alarm. So when you do have a scooter that contains an alarm, ensure that you're pressing the right button to allow the scooter to turn on, because what the alarm does is it prevents the scooter from turning on if you have it locked. But I didn't know that you cannot just simply unlock it like a car. You have to also press that lightning symbol, because what it does is it will restrict power from going to the LCD. And so you could save yourself a lot of trouble and bypass what I did here. So now I got to spend probably another, I don't know, 25 to 30 minutes trying to fit everything back in neatly and zip tying all these cables together. So avoid the frustration, avoid the trouble, and ensure that you do have the alarm fully allowing the scooter to turn on before you go through this process of trying to figure out if any of the other components are malfunctioning, like the controller doesn't work, or some of the cables are damaged and power is not getting sent through. So yeah, that's my message to you. See ya. Hey, what's up, people? So I had a very frustrating issue with the scooter, which I just resolved. So I want to share that with you. So just in case you encounter or you come across something like this, then you would know how to resolve it yourself as well. So this is something that you won't have to worry about if you have one of these scooters, or any scooters which don't have an alarm system. This Mikey KK10S happens to be alarmed. So alarm meaning it has an alarm system with this key fob here that locks the scooter. So what happened was I left my scooter in the garage for over 5 months. So it powered down with no battery left in the battery, or no power left in the battery. I went to recharge the battery. I got it up to about 64 volts. So it had power at that time, but it was still not powering up. Well, this is powering up. So let me demonstrate again. So let me lock the scooter, and it wasn't powering up. And so I thought all I would have to do is press this unlock, right? Because when I do have a similar key fob for my car, I just press this unlock and it should give me power. No power. So what you really have to do is press this lightning button here on the key fob in order to get this on. So really, I don't know why this is really stupid and useless. So this button is for the alarm, I understand. This button here is to lock the scooter. So once you press this and it's locked, you cannot power it on. But in order to allow this to power on, you gotta press this one, and it powers on now. So let me try that again. If you just press this one, it does nothing. You press the unlock, it just has, essentially this is the same feature as the horn here. Or no, actually this is to post. So you can post it, and then it has an extended alarm. But yeah, you cannot just press this and expect this to turn on. And that was what I had in mind, or that's what I thought would happen. And apparently that's not the case. I went through a lot of frustration having to troubleshoot that. So yeah, hopefully this helps you. And if you have any questions, put it down in the comments, and I'll try to help you out with that.